Hello everyone, we are from Group 9. I am Paramitha and my group consists of Patricia, Michelle, and Felisca. Here is the group photo of our team members. Then this is our topics that we will cover. And the political issue that we are going to present is the US-China trade war. I will start with the introduction of US-China trade war. First of all, trade war means a conflict between two countries in a matter of economic and trade. It was started when China joined the World Trade Organization. China, with its technology, was able to export its product to all countries all over the world with a cheap price, which caused US difficult to compete. This, as a matter of fact, caused the trade dispute between China and the United States as the first big exporter country. The US implemented a barrier with a new tariff for Chinese products. Its aim is to limit the access of Chinese companies to American technologies. Background of Apple. Apple was established in April 1976 by Steve Jobs with the two others, Steve Wozniak and Ronald Wayne. It is originally from USA and has approximately 125 stores in some countries, such as Canada, Japan, US, and UK. Apple, moreover, design manufactures and markets personal computers, software, networking solution, and peripheral. The most well-known product is iPhone, thus which bring the four divisions to be operated, which are Apple USA, Apple Europe, Apple Pacific, and Apple products.
The root cause of US-China trade war. US has three main concerns which lead to the trade war. First, China's large trade surplus was pressing the US job creation. This led to exchange rate dispute and trade imbalances which showed the condition of the US and China economy. Second, China was operating unfair and illegal methods to receive US technology at a discounted price. China's power in the economy was abused to benefit itself at the expense of its trading partners. Third, China tried to harm the US national security at its international standing. Innovation capability was national security in key determinants of US trade policy. US-China trade war as a rising issue will be discussed in the trade protectionism and the world economy. China has two comparative advantages. First, lower standards of living that lead to the companies pay for lower wages to employees. Second, part of the yuan exchange rate is pegged to the dollar by using a modified fixed exchange rate. When dollar's value decreases, China purchases dollars through the US treasuries. President Trump started the tariff war by imposing import tariffs on imported Chinese goods. Then China imposed tariffs for export duties on US goods. The United States and China are two countries that have a strong influence on the world economy. When the tariff increased, GDP growth in the US with around 0.9 of a percentage point, China with over 1 percentage point, and other countries slowed down and fell. Businesses are impacted by the growing uncertainty as seen in reduced investments and purchase globally. This led to volatility in share prices and securities market risks.
So, how long will this issue last? If we were to look back on the timeline, the trade war happened on 6th of July 2018, where US imposed 25% of duties to China's import goods, and China retaliates by imposing the same percentage in US-produced goods. The tariff war seems to keep rising along the time, until in September 2019, the tariff average of China has doubled, while US has tripled. On 15 January 2020, both parties agreed to sign a Phase 1 trade deal, where US agreed to suspend planned tariff and halve the current 15% duty, while China agreed to purchase additional US goods worth $200 billion in the next 2 years. However, by the end of November, China failed to purchase to what it's already been agreed to in the Phase 1 agreement. As we can see from this chart, the Phase 1 agreement does not seem to settle the issue. Along with the changing power position in the US, the war has not seemed to cool down either. Elected US President Joe Biden said that he won't take any immediate measures to lift up the tariff and refused when China Foreign Minister Wang Yi asked for talk in regards to the unresolved issue. The trade war will unlikely to end until both suffer from losses, such as the case in US-Soviet War. However, negotiation could be done to cool down the tension. As a US MNE that operates in China, Apple needs to understand this issue because the tariff and duties imposed will result in higher production costs of Apple. It could possibly interrupting the manufacturing and supply chain process, causing a delay and inefficient operation. The worst-case scenario is the company could be banned entirely, causing a cease of its major operation. Moreover, as China is one of Apple's biggest consumer market, it might be hard to market its product and possibly feature lower sales due to nationalism issue and slow economic growth.
Impact on Apple and corporations.
One of the impact on Apple of the current trade war is the decrease in sales and revenue. It is reported that Apple's revenue in early 2019 was 7.6% lower than what it was expected. This was due to 3% revenue fall in Apple's China market, as well as strong USD currency, supply constraints, and Apple battery replacement program that also harmed the business.
A drop in the stock price. In response to the revenue reports, Apple's stock price plunged 8% within the after-hours trading market, and it has declined over than 30% since October 18, where Apple announced they won't be providing iPhone unit sales revenue. The shift in production location. Higher tariff imposed will eventually lead companies seek for another alternative locations. In June 2019, Apple planned to move 15% until 30% of its production in China to countries such as India. Estimated only 5 until 7% of production are able to relocate in 12 to 18 months after the agreement with contractors and governments. Hard to replicate Apple's China production and supply chain. Eventually, it will take much higher cost and time.
So the recommendation that we suggest is for Apple to develop not only product but also services goods such as Apple Pay or subscription-based products such as Apple Music to further increase their revenue. Moreover, it should realize the importance of lobbying, which is a good way to ask for a relief in the policy, since the company is beneficial for both countries. Also, maintaining a good relationship with suppliers is also important for a possible future business agreement and a long-term collaboration and business relationship.
A rising tension between United States and China will bring disadvantage to Apple products in the end market. Thus, the company is extremely suggested to move its factory away to other country that has rich labor and advanced technology literacy, such as India, Taiwan, or perhaps Vietnam. Perhaps the US ally should be more preferable to get incentive. The second one, that it is also possible to invest in countries that have territory disputes with China, such as South China Sea dispute. And the last recommendation will be that Apple can also sell off its stock to Chinese entrepreneurs or government, so China will think twice before imposing Apple with tariffs. The conclusion. A trade dispute between China and the United States began when China joined the World Trade Organization in 2001 and promoted a global business new strategy that focuses on cheap price and heavy-handed state intervention. The China's significant economic progress and role in global community has somehow become a threat to the United States and its allies. Thus, United States on July 6, 2018 began to impose trade tariffs to protect its competitive advantage. China then took countermeasures that finally led to trade war between the two countries until today. Apple, as one of the most innovative technology company, pride of United States, was vulnerable to the war because they focus on selling brand and assemble their products in China for cheaper labor and resources. So that is it for our presentation. Thank you.